one of the best gifts that you can give yourself if you are foundering, faltering a little bit, unsure about things. If someone chooses to believe in you, believe them.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started. All right, Be It Babe, get ready. The word this comes up in this podcast so many times as a like double tap, as a thumbs up, as like high five, if I could have done this in person, we would have been like just high fiving each other the whole time. I am obsessed with this person. Shanté Cofield, the Movement Maestro, is our guest today, and someone who has impressed me from the moment I was introduced to her in so many freaking ways. And what I love is like, I got to watch her on the outside looking in, and then I got to know her on the inside. And still just like, we don't live in the same place. So I'll just like watch him from afar and like being an Instagram friend, hopefully real life friend from afar. But then getting to talk to Shanté today and hear the journey that they've been on, the journey that they're still on, the way they make decisions. I'm so excited for you because no matter if you run your own business, you work for someone, you are a human being, and you are going to hear so many things that is going to help you be more you. So much permission is going to be granted. And I hope this is an episode that you save and hit on replay, because I know I am. I know I can't even wait to listen to this again. And also, I hope that this allows you, if you don't know who Shanté is, I hope this helps you find them, follow them, and get more from them, because they have so much to teach. They're just an inherent teacher. So Shanté Cofield, thank you so much in advance. You guys, here is a Be It Pod with Shanté Cofield. Enjoy. All right, Be It Babe, get ready. This is going to be amazing. I know that currently Brad has no idea who I'm talking to. Otherwise, he'd be in this room. He's so jealous. He loves this person so much. So Shanté Cofield, the Movement Maestro, here you are, finally.
Here I am. Thank you for having me on.
Oh my God.
I'm excited. I'm actually legitimately excited to be on this podcast. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Yeah,
big energy.
This is going to be great. So here's the thing, you guys. I met Shanté through Jill Coleman, who's been on the pod before. And one of the things that you might not, well, you know this about yourself because it's what you teach people on. But like, I see a recycling truck and I think of you.
Yeah, that's knowable. And thank you for knowing it's a recycling truck, not the garbage truck.
Yeah.
I don't like the garbage truck. It's the recycling truck.
It's a recycling truck. And so, and then, I was reading,
great.
I was rereading through your form and everything. And I was like, oh, she does have a bright green Jeep. That's right. She does. So Shanté, in case people don't know who you are, can you tell everyone who you are, what you rock at?
Yes, absolutely. Again, thank you for having me on, and you listening. Thank you for being here. Shanté Cofield, I think more colloquially or now more commonly known as Maestro. I'm a physical therapist by trade, an entrepreneur by choice, and now I spend my days in Southern California, but to try and make the monies, I do online business coaching. So like Lesley had said, Jill Coleman is my business partner for one of the projects that we group coaching program that we run together. But I help health and fitness pros run, build, grow profitable. It's an important word there. Online personal brands. That is my niche. That is my zone of genius, largely using Instagram as their initial kind of top of funnel.
Yeah. I love that you had like by trade and then by choice. I think a lot of people get stuck on the by trade and they kind of don't choose.
Yeah. I'm like, we can do other things.
How long ago did you do that though? And like, was it the scariest thing?
Totally. So I graduated from PT school in 2010. I did it for 8 years. And during that time, kind of on the back end of that, I started working for a company called Rock Tape. So if any of you have seen any colorful tape that the athletes wear, Kerry Walsh really put like kinesiology tape on the map. I started working for one of those companies, and I was a lead instructor. And that's when I really found that I love teaching, and I literally traveled the world teaching for them. So, growing up, I wanted to have a job that I could go on planes and I could stay in hotels. Why? I don't know. I wanted that, but I did. And then I became a physical therapist, and I was like, well, that's not going to really allow for that. And then I got that job, and I found myself traveling and teaching across the world. And I concurrently was building my personal brand kind of inadvertently building it. Not even kind of, 100% inadvertently building a personal brand as the Movement Maestro on Instagram just because I was like, I have stuff to say and this is fun and I'll connect with people. So I practiced for 8 years. And just towards the end of it, I was practicing less and I was teaching more, very much knowing that I would step back from treating because I didn't really love it, but it's safe and it's a great first career. But you can't really, in my opinion, teach just from theory. Like you have to be practicing still. And I was like, I don't even enjoy this. I don't really want to be doing this anymore. And so the pivot came in 2020. So I was doing things behind the scenes, kind of the online business stuff behind the scenes. I met Jill in 2019 and we linked up. But 2020, I was like, I am done with PT stuff. I'm done talking about it, coaching it, teaching it, working in that field. And then COVID was like, okay, here you go. And the pivot was actually very easy because I couldn't travel anymore. I brought my stuff online and I just brought all of the kind of coaching business stuff that people have been asking me for. Just brought that front facing and stopped with the the PT stuff.
It's funny, like, I think, obviously 2020 was terrible for so many reasons.
Mhm. Yes,
And
both
and also, like, you can't have bad without good. Like,
yes,
that's a balance. And so, like, if
absolutely,
you take advantage of the opportunity that it was there,
absolutely,
which is like, oh, I can't, like, the playground has said that this is the box. And so how can I
100%.
be creative in that box? And we also met Jill in 2019. And then because of a 30-minute talk she did, we like did her notes. And then I like DM'd her like 2 months and I was like, just so you know, thanks for what you did in someone else's thing. We did it and we made $20,000. And she's
That's all.
like, who are you?
That's all.
But like because of how things change, it really did lend itself for people who wanted to make a big pivot. And I love that you took advantage of that.
100%. 100%.
I think like people who hear that though, when people work online, they think, "Oh my God, you get to work for yourself. It's like the dream life." We're just all printing money. It's
Mhm.
like a coffee shop, you
Yes,
guys.
printing money.
um, I think it's also easy for people to make a switch and then overwork themselves. And something
Oh,
that I
yeah,
am so attracted to about you is that you
absolutely.
don't do that.
No, no. I am 100% of the lifestyle business mindset. And mind you, lifestyle business doesn't mean like being a pauper. It's just like, what's the lifestyle that you want? And if you want some extravagant, lifestyle, then you're gonna have to work and earn, commensurate with that. But for me, it is the reason I do what I do and make any money is so that I can live in the way that I want. And I want to have a lot of time to do the stuff I want to do. I want to play guitar. I go to the beach a ton. Jill and I are really good balance in that way because Jill loves the work. She loves it. She loves being in it. She loves the strategy. And I'm like, I'm going to go to the beach now. I'm going to go and play volleyball. I'm going to go downstairs and, lift. I have a gym that we put in the house. So it's like, yes, I have to make enough money that allows for that lifestyle. But the reason that I do things in my first choice will always be I'm going to go out and live and do the fun activities or stay home and do the activities as opposed to being like work, work, work.
So is that easy for you? Like, is that how
Yeah.
you've always been? Like, is
I
it
think
hard
that
for people around you?
I think that it is it's that there's definitely I love you asked this question because I think it's super important when we're listening to people speak and we're looking to take lessons from them and advice from them that we also realize where they are in life. Like I'm 40, right? So it's not that if I would not be saying this if I was 20, right? So when I was 20, I was in college and then immediately after that I was in grad school and then I was living in New York City working a lot. Like still very much being like I want to be able to do things on my own time, but knew that I couldn't. I was like, I have to work and have no money and I live in New York City. But that was definitely always the goal, whether I realized it or not, was this time flexibility and being in control of my own time. So it is easy for me to do that now. And it's all that I want to do now. And I can actually afford to do that. And I'm able to do that because I'm not 20. I'm not 25. Like I
Right.
do think that there is a time in life when like you grind. Like the analogy I like to use is surfing, right? If I don't first of all, I live by the ocean, I don't go in the water, but I understand it, right? I
I love you
understand
so much
surfing.
because I love the ocean, but I don't go the way people you don't go. And I'm like, I don't
No,
like anything touching me that I
right?
can't
My
see.
feet? No. I'm good. I will look at it. I don't need to be up in the ocean, but I watch all the surfers there and it's like if you want to ride the wave, if you want to coast, you have to paddle out. You don't just end up out there on the wave and like, "Oh, look at me." Like you have to and first of all, I don't know if you ever watch people surfing, you're like, "This is, like, so much work," and they're, like, going, like, under the waves, and the things are hitting them, and the board is going backwards. There's a lot of work that gets put up gets done, it gets front loaded. And then you're like, all right, cool. I can ride this wave and sit here and I can pick which wave I ride. But that's after all of the work comes. So no, no, it's not a hard thing for me to decide to do now or live into now, but also like I'm 40.
Yeah.
I'm not 25.
I actually, that's so funny. You know, you have the idea, people think that like so people who serve are just like easy going, like they're just like actually like they are the most organized, hardworking
Yes.
folks I've ever met because
Yes.
they're like they know when the waves are going to be great. They
Yes.
work there, they schedule everything
Yes.
around that.
Around that.
They work really hard. Like I went to a yoga
Yes.
teacher who was like so zen, so chill. He taught at 5 a.m. Then he was out riding the waves. Then he taught again at
This.
9 a.m. He would like
This. This. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but everyone just sees them like
Absolutely.
hanging loose or to hang in 10 and they're like,
No,
oh,
man.
they're chill. It's like actually, so that's such a beautiful analogy. I think it's really fun. I always tell people like when I'm doing interviews, like, well, I'm 42 because I think like you do have to say like I can say this and I can work
Yes.
my schedule really does. My work schedule really is only 9 to 4
Mhm.
because when I was 30,
This.
it was 6
It
to
was all day.
7.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to understand that, folks, that like that is how it works. Like in general, I love that you typed into that with surfers. And one of the things I think about with that is that form allows for flow, right? Where
Mm.
like, yeah, he has the schedule and he has like this times and like, yes, we are dictated by like what weather is doing, right? And that allows for me to be able to like go with the flow because I had these things, whether that's like in a time, like looking across a timeline that I did these things first, or I'm looking within my day and it's like, okay, I structured this, this, and this so that I can just be chill, going with the flow, if you
Yeah.
will, during these other times.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But is it easy for the people around you? Because I know, like I have learned this is when I'm creative. This is when I can actually do the best coaching. If I miss
Totally.
this opportunity, we're not even posting because it just it's not even going to
Right?
work for me. Like I just, I
It's
know the
gone.
best. And like there are other people like, oh, you're like I have feeling like you're so cold. And like I'm not cold. 6 a.m. to
No.
9 a.m. is my time. You
Yeah,
cannot be in my
absolutely.
time.
No, no one has had an issue. I mean, my partner Lex, she does online business. She gets it. She's known me for a long time too, so she knows how I am. And I think that exactly what you just said. One of the best things, and we've talked about this a little bit before we got on the call, like this idea of authenticity that can be kind of overused as a word, but one of the biggest gifts of like actually showing up authentically is that you give other people permission to do the same. Right?
Yeah.
Not that they need it, but like they are looking for it. And so when you show up and you're like, yeah, this is what I do. This is the time I take. This is how, like, when I'm going to be doing this. I'm putting myself first. I'm scheduling this first. You give other people the permission to do that. And people like that. They're like, oh, if maybe they have some initial pushback, but that's because they're like, oh shit, you just held up a mirror and now I have to look at myself and be like,
Mm.
am I doing that? I could do that. What's stopping me from doing that? So I've had no pushback with it at all. I say this whenever I go on podcasts or talk about things like so much of everything I credit to my mom and just like how she raised me. And like she's always supported me. There was never a like, but what about? Or none of that. It was
Mm.
just like, okay, you have soccer, I'm taking you. You want to do this? Okay. Like there was never anything but support. So I've never been in an environment. I never thought to be in an environment or been okay in an environment where someone's like pushing back on just how I am. I'd be like, why? What is this about?
What a cool mom.
Yeah.
What
Super
a
fortunate.
cool, like evolved, healthy.
Super, super fortunate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And
Yes.
also but like it allows for you to be you and then again be that mirror for other people. So okay, it's called Be It Till You See It because I don't like the way fake it till you make it sounds. And I've always been someone who like is like, okay, I don't know how to be the person who runs a business by herself. So what if I had to know? And like what would I do if I had to know? So that's kind of how I've always run things.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that like I followed you for years and I love about you, like I find, and I'm sure this is like literally what you deal with is like so many people are afraid to put themselves out there as either themselves or the person that they would like people
Yeah.
to see them as. And you teach that. And also like, in the last recent shit show we've all been in, I've watched you continue to show up authentically. And so I guess I want to know, like, are there tips for being it till you see it online?
Yeah. Yeah. This is why I'm really excited to come on this podcast because it is something that I've learned that this is what I do and teach. I didn't go into the online space or anything with that, being like, this is what I'm gonna help people with. But movement and Instagram and online business has all just been a vehicle to help people live into themselves and create their best lives. And I didn't realize that that was a difficult thing for people. And I don't say that as like, oh, it's so easy. It was just like, that's not the world that I was in really anyway. And so then you start talking to people and you're like, oh, this is something that's difficult for you for many reasons. Society is designed so that this is difficult for you. Like, and then seeing that, be like, okay, let me see what I can do or what I've been doing and kind of like put a process to it, if you will, to try and help people. I think that the simplest, easiest thing, the action item is do it scared. Like there's no other way around it. I think that we like to kind of like cerebralize things and be like, I'm gonna try and dissect it and why am I like this and why do I do this? Like that's helpful and fine, but like you still have to then do it. There's no like I'm gonna think my way out of this or into this. It's like I still have to take the action and show up in this way. So if we're waiting to like feel better about it, we know that this confidence is a byproduct, right? It's on the other side of action. So the line that I give people, that I tell people, I'm like, do it scared. Right. Yes, there can be action items of like accountability, or you're like, I'm working with somebody and like I just have to show up. I have to post. I've given myself time frames and constraints so that because we know deadlines are magic. But to me, the big take home is there do it scared. It's probably going to feel uncomfortable. It's probably going to feel foreign. It's probably not going to feel good. You're probably going to be like having all these thoughts. Do it anyway because the feeling you're searching for, the confidence, all of that, it's on the other side of the action.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's really true. Like people, so we have, since I last saw you, like we actually have like streamlined so many things. And because of all the coaching I've done for 10 plus years, and because the world made me put everything out in blogs back in the day and videos, we were able to train an actual bot to be me.
Yeah.
Right. And it's great. It's fabulous. She has the best grammar that I never had. I'm like, wow, I love that the internet's helping with the commas. Like, it's so great. But somebody asked my bot, like, a question where like, confidence came up. And my bot said a very true story about how I had, like I do these things scared. I'm not always confident in what I'm doing. And the person's like, you're not always confident. You seem so confident. And it's so funny because it's like, I think people are so good at seeing what they want to see in other people.
That right there.
Because they don't see oh, she's doing that scared. They only see it as like she's confident. And it's really like, I tell everyone now, I do everything like as if the roller coaster is like at the tip and I'm screaming down the other side and like hoping I'm just going to go with the flow of it all, because you get confident from doing the thing you said you're going to do.
On the other side. It's on the other side of it. I think, there's also a lot to be said from drawing from data, right? Like I'm a physical therapist by trade. That's science through and through. It's how my brain works. I want logic. I want reason. I want things to be rational. There's so much to be said to actually generating evidence and generating data first. And then the second part, which is hard for people, is believing it. Like there's always this discussion around imposter syndrome. There's a lot of routes we can take and how it's like societally imposed and all these other things. And I'm like, for me, part of the rational side of it is I'm like, maybe you're just not that good yet. If you just started, why would you be good at this thing? So you feeling like I'm not good enough, it's like, you're right. Clap for yourself. You're right. You're not that good yet. And then we go and we learn the things and we get the reps. And then this is where I see the switch doesn't flip. You have to choose to believe that evidence. Because I'll have people that like do the things and I'm like, you've been doing this shit for 5 years. You're still not confident. Like you have to choose to believe it then. Day one, no, you're not good. Objectively, you're not. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Year 5, you are better. You have to look at all of this data that you have generated and then you have to choose to believe it and then act from that. Can you still, and will you still be scared or have feelings about certain things? Yes, but it's typically the new things that you haven't done moving forward. You have this new foundation. You have stepping stones that you literally laid in place yourself, and you have to choose to believe, the structural integrity of these things.
I'm obsessed with that science about it. And I'll say, okay, Seth Godin, probably this is now a decade ago, I was listening to a podcast when I couldn't afford coaching. I was like, these people are my coach. And Seth Godin was like being asked about imposter syndrome. And he said, if you're new at something, you are in fact an imposter.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, oh, thank you.
And he's just so just feel those feelings and then take the steps to not be that way. And I was like, and he also said, and then also take it as a sign that you're probably not a narcissist as well. So when
because you actually care.
Yeah, because you care. So if we can remove, now that we've like established you're not a crazy egomatic narcissist and you are new, allow yourself to be new, but then go do the thing. And I have had some teachers at my house and they graduated from my mentorship program. and they were here at the house for a retreat. And one was like, oh, I can't do this exercise. I can't do this exercise. And I was like, okay, well, let's just see what you can do. So they do it and they come right up and I'm like, so you just did it.
So you can,
So you
actually,
can do it. They're like,
objectively.
yeah. And I'm like, you need to believe in you more than I believe in you. Like, yes, I'm a
That
teacher.
that
Right? Like,
that is huge, Leslie. That is huge. And I think that one of the things that I will talk to people about or say to people as they're on this journey is borrowing confidence, right? And so when we're starting out and we're new with something, one of the best gifts you can give yourself is if someone chooses to believe in you, believe them. And so I think about, you had asked with the podcast, and I love, by the way, how organized your shit is. So one of the things I was asking in like the little pre-podcast thing, and I was thinking of like, instances. And for me, it was starting with rock tape and starting to teach with them. I did reach out because I was like, I can do this because I was 5 years into my career already. It wasn't like day one. I was like, I can get people better. Like, I could do this. I could learn and like learn how to teach this, but like I have a solid foundation. I'm good at what I do. But going into this, one of the women, one of the head women, Allison Evans, she is my self-appointed mentor. We still talk like nearly every day. She believed in me. And she really believed that I could do this and could teach. And like she put me on stages and helped me. And I was like, I'm going to choose to believe her. And that confidence, I did have to borrow it. Like I had my own coming in, but any that I needed, I would borrow from her and then use that moving forward. So that one of the best gifts that you can give yourself if you are foundering, faltering a little bit, having unsure about things, if someone chooses to believe in you, believe them.
oh, I want to put that on replay. Everyone's gonna rewind that. I want to put that on replay because it's so true. Years, it was probably like this was like 2018. And I had been traveling a bit to teach. I was being hired to teach in different countries. And I was always so shocked. I'm like, oh my God, they found me. This is like, you guys, this is 2014, 15. I wasn't really doing it on Instagram. They were finding me through like YouTube and then word of mouth. So then it's like 2018, a girlfriend of mine wanted to host this big event. And she was picking all of her friends to like do it because we believed in her, right? But so I believed in her that she could do this event. And I found myself on a stage. My husband was actually miking me up. There's 85 people in this class. And I was like, is this mic on? He goes, no. And I was like, I think I'm a little bit nervous. Like, I think there's a mistake here, right? Like, and he goes, why? And I was like, well, I just don't know. Like 85 people. I've never taught 85 people. And I'm looking at this front row and there's like famous teachers in the front row and brand new people in the front row. And I'm having just like I'm having a little moment. I'm having a little imposter moment.
Yes.
And he goes, how is this different than anything you've already done? And it was like, I needed to go back and borrow that confidence and also be reminded, you actually done this. It's just more people.
That. You're human. The reminders, the other people, the people that are believing in you, the people that are giving you like, take all of this. Take all of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, times a million.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you went from rock. I mean, like, love rock tape. Thank God for rock tape.
Right?
But between that and Pilates, saved my knees and my hips from all my running career. So very appreciative. And then you got into what people would say is like a huge pivot. Like, I don't know that many people would like the trend of like, oh, you're a physical therapist and you're a rock tape expert. And then you teach people how to be on Instagram.
Right.
So you had the teacher confidence in you from the teaching you've done, and you had the confidence in what you've put out and what you grew on your own. But what was the be it till you see it? How did you how did you set yourself up to like coach people on something completely different than what you went to college for and all that?
Totally. And I love the phrase that it's be it till you see it because you're not actually faking it, right? So to me, that one of my whole sticks is safety and having a safety net. And so from the outside, people will think you've taken massive leaps. And then if they're like behind the scenes or if they actually were with you the whole time, they realize it's like there's these little steps that you just like didn't fucking stop ever.
Yes.
So everything led to the next thing. Being able to be on social media and being able to teach in person and give presentations came from the fact that I did it for a zillion years, right? Growing up, going through high school, going through college, and then PT school, you did a million presentations. So like going and doing more of them, I'm like, this is the same. It's actually not an issue at all. Being able to speak to people and connect with people. That's from being a physical therapist. Like that's literally all you do all day long. Like this skill set just carries over to the next thing. Coaching things. I've been in sports my whole life. I've been coaching my whole life. So then going into the online business realm, it wasn't so much of a pivot because I was doing PT. All I did was I took all my PT stuff and I started putting it on Instagram because I was like, I started using Instagram simply because I was like, I would like to connect with other people. I didn't do it to this is 2014, right? I didn't
Right.
do it to start a brand. I didn't do it because like no one was really doing it, to be completely honest, in terms of like the PT world. There was like Wad Duck was doing it, Perry Nicholson was doing it, but it wasn't like a big thing to see like PTs and Kairos just like
Yeah. I
on
know it's
there
hard for
doing
people
it.
to believe, but there was a window where social media was just social.
Yeah, right? And you're like, here's my breakfast. Like there
Yes.
was no
I know. Here's a sunrise. I look at this
literally
sunrise I did. Just look at this tree
like
on my
sepia
hike.
tone filter here. Like there was not it was like not a thing. So I was like, "Oh, okay. I see people doing it. I just want to connect with people." And like mind you, I'm 5 years into my career by now. Like I was like, I can literally just take what I've been doing during the day. Videos was only 15 seconds long. Like first iPhone didn't even have like a camera, I mean a video on it. Like it was just like this is a very different way of doing things, a different time. So I'm taking my PT stuff, I'm putting that on social media. I grow a following behind that, thinking I wanted to work with CrossFitters, but who followed me was other PTs. And I see why. Like looking back, I'm like the language I was using, how I was showing up. So then I start teaching them things. I'm running courses. So like I'm able to run my own courses because I worked for Rock Tape at that point 4 years. And so I knew how to run a course. I knew how much I would need to charge in order to like turn a profit on this. I had connections all around. I launched my personal course in Australia and New Zealand because I had connections from Rock Tape.
Mm,
So it wasn't like, how could you launch a course abroad? I'm like, because I've already done literally 500. Like,
right.
it's not a big thing. So from the outside, maybe it looks like that. But from the inside, it's like, it's just the next step. As I'm running all these courses, and anytime I would go and I would be specifically asked to teach a course, I by the like year 3 of this, I already knew if that facility asked for me specifically, I already knew that owner was gonna be like, "Hey, can we go out to dinner?" And then they were gonna ask me business stuff, and they were like gonna be like, "I wanna leave. I wanna do something else." So getting asked all these questions, starting to work with those people, but it was just behind the scenes. So
Yeah.
people didn't know I'm doing it, but I'm like, "I've been doing this for years." So then 2019 comes, I start bringing more of it front facing. Jill and I host a live event. That was my first live event with like online business. And I was like, okay, this is new, but I'm garnering confidence from Jill. Jill believes in me. Cool. I'm gonna just stay in my lane with this stuff and teach this stuff and go into that even because I've been doing it like behind the scenes, but not so front facing. And then 2020, I literally just took all the stuff that I was doing behind the scenes and brought it front facing, right? So that and largely what I was doing initially in 2020 was teaching people how to bring their presence online. It wasn't so much of the true like launch strategy and things like that. That I learned a ton from Jill and then also going through that
Yeah.
subsequently. But I started out with what I knew and what I'd been helping with people with already. So the pivot felt like a lot, like looked like a lot from the outside, but behind the scenes, it was literally like, okay, it's just the next stepping stone and taking all that I've done with me and using it for the next step.
I am so obsessed with the way that you like talked about what people see on the outside and then the baby says behind the
Yeah.
scenes because I do think that they go, oh, you know, Leslie does this and she does this and she does this. And so I'm going to go do these things. And it's like, okay, behind the scenes, there are
A
20
million steps.
people who
Exactly.
do the
Yes.
million steps.
Uh-huh.
There are like from the time I end this call with you, I don't touch this again until a recap
Yes.
episode and it goes through all the things, it does all this stuff. And then I just hear it on the places you listen to podcasts too. Like,
Yeah.
because behind the scenes, no one's posted. That's boring. No one actually wants to know how many baby steps are back there. But I also
Yeah.
want to highlight that you took what you were being asked a lot and the
Always.
experiences you were having and you were
Always.
utilizing that. And I think where a lot of people, they try to create it from the endpoint, from like where,
This.
like, oh, here's Shanté on the
Mhm.
stage. So I'm going to do what Shanté's doing on the stage. And then
Yep.
what am I going to talk about? Well, if
Yep.
like you got to go back behind the scenes. And like you
Back.
mentioned
Back.
earlier, where it's like, I didn't know people had a hard time doing this thing
Yes.
that came so easy to me. And I
Mhm.
think like for anyone listening, if you're wondering what you might be doing, whatever you think is easy,
Mhm.
someone else,
That.
a lot of other people think is so hard.
That. That.
They think
That.
it's so
And you're
hard.
like, "Oh, I had no idea." Oh. I think that gets at kind of like one thing we haven't discussed is like the societal implications, right? Like
Mm,
how does society and patriarchy and supremacy culture play into all of this? And we are fed this lie that success requires struggle,
yeah.
right? There's a difference. Success requires hard work, but not struggle. So if we go back to the surfer analogy, this would be like you don't know how to swim, you hate the water, there's sharks in there, and people think like that's how you have to do it in order to be able to like surf. And I'm like, you should maybe stay on land and like play volleyball. Like don't do something else. You don't even like swimming. Like what are you? Why do we think we have
Yeah.
to be this struggle and such? Yes, there is hard work, but it is with things that you enjoy doing, with people you enjoy being around. And then it doesn't feel like this, like, God, I'm like pulling teeth and it's the worst thing ever. I truly believe that humans left to their own devices, they will create, they will work hard, they will do so much. People are not inherently lazy. Right?
Yeah.
We all know, anyone that's listening to this, you have any, if you've ever created something of anything, and you're like, I like this thing, you will stay up all night. You'll miss meals. You'll skip these things because you're like, I just want to finish this thing. Like that is, it's in us. But we fed this lie that we have to struggle and we have to suffer and it has to be the worst thing ever. It doesn't have to be. Yes, it's a lot of work. Yes, we should probably expand our timelines for things, right? We have timelines in terms of minutes. And I'm like, make it years and you'll never fail. Like, but
Yeah.
right now it's minutes and you're like, I didn't do it yet. But if you are finding things, leaning into these things and like, hey, I'm naturally good at it, that's a good thing. But we're kind of taught, oh, you're naturally good at it. It's easy. That means that you're lazy, or that if you're gonna do that, that means that like you're taking the easy route and that's bad. And it's like, no, do the things that you like, do the things that come easily. That is great. That's what we're going for, not this life of like, I hate the things. I have to go to work, I have to do this, I have to struggle and suffer for it to be worthwhile. No,
No. Yeah.
absolutely not.
No, and
No.
I think I love the distinction hard work versus struggle. And you
Yeah.
mentioned it like the interesting thing, I don't know, intriguing, the crazy thing about the society that we are in currently. It is like before I got on this with you, my team was like, "Hey, which of these podcasts do you want us to pitch you to?" I was like looking and I'm like, "You guys, anything that is just looks like an alpha male, like you can just say no. Like you don't even have to ask me. I don't care if it's a 0.1% podcast. I don't care if I'm the first
No.
expert ever they want to talk about Pilates and how
Not
it's
it.
good for them. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, like, I cannot handle that vibe and I don't need to.
No, no,
I
no,
can work hard and not struggle. And that would be a
no.
struggle, right? So, like, I, I like,
No.
and I think what a lot of people have done online is like, oh, that's popular. What this dickhead over
Yep.
here is doing is popular and
Mhm.
using the red and the orange and like
Yep.
claiming out, I'm going to eat
Yep.
only steak. And so I'm going to go that way, and like people have forgotten to like be themselves and be
This,
different.
this, this, this times a million. Times a million. We're looking at sustainability as well, right? Like sustainability and longevity, because that's what the play should be. Being anything but yourself is unsustainable.
Yeah.
Like it might bring you flash in the pan success. It might. It absolutely might. You might be able to trend track something and ride that wave for a short term. You might. But we've seen it publicly in social media where people are like, I have to stop doing social media. I've built this thing. I hate it. I have this massive audience. It's fake. I don't like it. And it's like, yeah. And I'm also thinking about, we're just seeing the end product of that, right? Where they're just like, I'm so unhappy. I have to like stop.
Mm-hmm.
This person's been living like that for however long. Like, that's not, life is short, man. We're
Yeah.
not here to be miserable every day and faking this thing. Like, I love that you're not this fake it till you make it. I'm like, people be faking it till they die. And I'm like, that's not it.
It's not it. It's really not it. So, and talk about like imposters, and you'll never feel that way. So Martha Stewart's not one of my favorite people in the world, although she's a badass, and like let's just give her that. And also, she shouldn't
Yes.
have been to prison. That was
Yes.
just a woman doing something a man does, and they're gonna put her in prison.
And then
So
prison.
like, yeah. So if they want to imprison the men on it, then fine, I'm okay with it. But if we're not doing that, anyways,
Let's be fair.
different argument. But she had her version of The Apprentice, like when I was like, I don't know, maybe I was in college or in high school, and I remember someone said, well, we got to fake it till you make it. And Martha said, we never fake anything around here. And I was like, I mean, come on, Martha, you fake a little bit, right? Like I had this thing, like I just remember, and I remember that going like, really? You don't fake anything? And then as I got older and I started like evaluate what I was doing, I was like, I'm not faking anything. This is me, but like acting like if I knew how that worked, or if I wasn't scared. So it's just, when we think of what actors do, we don't call them faking it when they're on White Lotus. They are acting like a fucking weird character. That gives me nightmares.
Who's that faker?
Yeah. So it's just like you get to act like the person who would have the confidence. You act like the person who is doing the hard work but not struggling. That helps you make decisions that you can filter through until you realize one day you woke up and you are that person. That's who you are, because that's who you always were.
That last part though, Lesley, I think that's really huge, because that's who you always were. Right? There's something to be said if you really sit and dissect this, like, be it till you see it. it's not faking it because like it is you. Like maybe you don't know this thing, but it's still you. It's still you choosing to do this. It's still you having the confidence to do this thing. You're not lying to saying to someone and being like, I'm a surgeon. Like that is different. That's completely different. But it is you. Like
Yeah.
there is no fake to this. Like whether or not it's just the nuance and the verbiage there is that you don't have the like the confidence that you believe someone who's like been this way for a long time has, but it's still you, still in
Yeah.
there.
Speaking of still you've always been the person that I like look to when it's like, okay, what's going on with Instagram? Like, what's going on with this thing? Lesley, just get out of your fucking way and
Yeah.
just do the thing. Like, I'm just like such a reluctant Instagrammer because I've done so well with
Totally.
the YouTubes and the other things. And so to me,
Absolutely.
like, I'm just kind of like, I don't always hop on trends. Like, I'm just like, here's what I'm too busy actually. So here's a picture of me and my assistant and I'll
Yes.
get back to you next week because I got shit to do. But something that like, I've been watching you and you're so good and you are so creative and you're always so consistent. And also after the election,
Yeah.
to me, I think on the outsider's perspective, people might have thought you were pivoting. You were being you in my, because maybe because I know you behind the scenes a bit, but like it didn't seem
Totally.
like a pivot. It seemed like you just like turning the volume up on you.
Totally. Totally.
How is that what you felt like you were doing? Do you feel like you were like, did you have pushback? Did you
Totally.
have people who say you've changed?
There was no, this is a great question. There was no overt pushback. There was obviously like losing of followers, right? So there's like a silent pushback, if you will. But flip side of that is I didn't have anyone that was like, stay in your lane or stick to politics. Like no one said anything to me. They were just like, okay, I'm going to show myself the door. And I'm like, that's cool. I also will say, I don't look at numbers. I hate looking at numbers. I hate when people are like so in the numbers because I also believe that, especially on Instagram, a lot of numbers are fake. Not
Yeah.
even like people buying followers. I'm like, you think that 60,000 people, like this is Instagram with fake money, right? Using house money and rewarding certain behavior and being like, hey, we like what you're doing. We're going to give you followers. Don't like what you're doing. We're going to take them away. Like the metrics that I want people looking at, if we're going to talk Instagram, is going to be your actual interaction. How many comments are you getting? And are they real? Are you talking to people? How many DMs? How many conversations are you having?
Yeah.
That's the stuff that I care about. And while I lost quote unquote followers, or I should say, I lost quote unquote followers, that's what I want to be quoting there. My engagement and my DMs did not go down. I got more comments on the posts that I've been doing since the election. So I'm like, I'm good. Actually, and I think that my audience, I've been showing up this way long enough of just like, this is me. And what topic am I speaking about? Right. My whole shtick has been build, create, live your best life. And we're doing it with authenticity because otherwise it's not sustainable. It's not your best life. It's some caricatures, best life. And I've just used vehicles, right? Across the years, it's just been vehicles. It's been physical therapy. It's been movement. It's been Instagram. It's been online business. And now I'm just speaking to certain points that it's just like, we're just talking about life now. There's nothing in between to like create metaphors for you. We're just talking about life. I'm just asking you to look at the things that you're doing on the day to day and the things that are happening around us and the implications of that and speaking to that. So, it hasn't been difficult in the sense of showing up that way, but it has been difficult for me to have the desire to put out what I consider to be trivial things. I understand it can be helpful for certain people, but like, that's not where I'm at. I also have like this kind of like internal clock that like kind of resets every 5 years when I'm like, okay, something new. So PT was 5 years. And then the last 3 I was teaching and shifting away from treating. And then 2020 hit and I'm, doing all online business. I'm like, it's 2025. My clock is like, next step. What else is there?
I love that you have that awareness of yourself. I feel like I have a 7-year clock and I only learned that like in the last year, I was like, kind of felt like I felt like I was claustrophobic in my own clothes.
That's perfect word. Perfect.
And, here's the thing, like, again, behind the scenes, no one can see what we're having to do to pivot businesses,
that part.
and it takes time.
That part.
And what I just love that you mentioned, like, it's hard to post about trivial things or things that feel trivial to me.
Yeah, to me.
It has, I will be honest, like, ever since like the last year of like, oh fuck, this is where we're headed. I'm like, do you really need a fucking tip on that? Because there's a YouTube video. Like I'm trying to figure out how to, trying to figure out how do I, as female business owner who coaches female business owners, whose clients are coming in and telling them, stupid shit about the economy, who's making them doubt if they should raise their rates, even though their rent went up, their utilities
Mhm.
went up, like
Yes.
the cost to have employees went up. Like,
Yep.
yeah, you have to raise your rates because that's the only way
It's
you stay in
math.
business. It's you
It's
are not a
fucking math.
charity. You are a business. If you want to be a charity, go file for that.
Yes.
You know, I am.
This.
So I appreciate that because I've found like, you know, not just like what has gone on with politics, but like in the last month, we had something happen in our family. And I'm like, I have these
Yes.
brands who want me to post something. I'm sorry. Like,
This.
I'm going to fail you right
This.
now. What I love is that you are human and you give so many people permission to be that. And I didn't even post a ton. Mostly was all my stories. I was like, if you follow me, like you're going to get the real me. And then the stories is where it is. And I have people,
Yes.
you know, I just really liked it when you didn't talk about politics. And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm a female business owner. That is political.
That.
Like I might have privileges
What?
of a white person, but like I'm still a female business owner who literally only gets people to answer things if I have my husband on calls for things. Right? Like I have like, here, it's your job.
People are
So
people's audacity. I'm
Yeah.
like, I wish that the people we coach and people listening to this have the audacity of that person
Yes.
that comes into your DMs and is like, here's how you should run your account. I wish we all had that. audacity.
Yes.
Like, what?
Oh my God.
Where did that come from?
Yes. We need to find these people and like teach that audacity because that's the word it is. And like, I
What?
said, oh, you know, this is my account.
Like,
so
what?
I said, I was just like, this is my account. And like, I think women's
Wild.
rights are actually like
It's
just
wild.
real and human rights. But if you don't like hearing about that, you don't have to follow me
You
here.
don't have to be here.
You
You
can-
can just go.
For free, you can go on
Actually,
YouTube. In fact,
this-
they'll make sure whatever ads you get are the ones you wanted. And you can actually just search for the content that you want from me.
Like-
and if you want to pay for it, in my membership group, we don't talk about politics, but just remember, everything is.
wild. Exactly. Everything is political. When people say that, I'm like, you're just saying that it hasn't affected you. I'm like, but it is. It hasn't affected you in a negative way. I'm like, it's just affecting you, but positively or
Yeah.
neutrally. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it hasn't been hard to switch to speak about that. It's been hard to, like you said, the behind the scenes business side of things. Like I run my number one program that I run is an Instagram intensive, and I haven't run it this year because I'm just like, what do I want to do with this thing? Like, how do I want this thing to look? How do I want to do this? Am I wanting to encourage people to go and spend their time with this company that doesn't give two shits about you? Like, there's a lot of thinking around the
Yeah.
like the intentionality piece, and I'm fortunate in a fortunate place that I have the savings to be able to like chill out, and I have other programs going on, and I already have clients that I've been working with one on one, so I can hold off on that thing. But that has been the only difficulty. But
I thank you for sharing because I think like when everything went down, I had people in my group going, I don't want to post on these platforms because I don't want to give them anything. And I was like, okay. First of all, I agree. Like I like just know that like
Yeah.
with you, and also what I will always coach you on is you have to be where your people are. So where
That.
are your people? Because
It's
if
that
they
part.
are there, then if you're not there, then some dude on
Somebody
the
else,
ribeye
yep.
steak for 3 meals a
Yep.
day is going to sell to them. Like they're
No lie.
gonna buy the solution to their problem. So then it's
Yes.
kind of like, how do we play in the
this
field? You know, like how do we do it? And so that's always been the
100%.
game. It's always been the game. Like how do we play in the
100%.
the sandbox that gets them out of that sandbox and over into the sandbox we want to play in?
Absolutely. The intentionality and taking a moment and like, again, I mean, having time is a luxury, right? Time is to me, like it circles back to the beginning of the conversation of like what ultimately I wanted and having this lifestyle business. It's the translation of that is having time flexibility and having time ownership, right? Where I have the time to sit and COVID, we saw the importance of time during COVID, right? We call it the great pause because it gave people a moment to be like, wait, what do I want? How do I want to do things? Do I believe in this? Do I agree with this? When we're living in a world that's so fast paced and you just have to like, you're just trying to eat, you're just trying to like get through the day. You don't have the luxury, you don't have the ability to sit and think and be like so intentional with things, right? It's all by design, right? I could sound like a tin hat. I don't care. It's all by design. I'm in a place where I have the luxury to sit and be like, okay, I want to be intentional and continue to be super intentional with my business and how I'm showing up and how I'm helping people. What does that look like? Like, I totally agree. There's a huge both and when it comes to social media because it's like, yes, these businesses and supporting them. And you're like, but the flip side is how do I support my people? And if it's like, I have to stay with this nonsense and in this sandbox so that I can reach these people because that's where they're at, I'm going to do that. And yes, I'm going to look to move them somewhere else and do other things and show up with my values and encourage them to do the same. But, this is taking a beat, taking a moment to really sit and identify that and not just being like knee jerk, like, I'm done with it all and like,
Yeah.
I'm burning it all down. It's like, if that's what you want to do, fine. But I'm looking at what's the outcome of that? Why am I doing that? And if my goal is to be able to help people, I'm like, let me take a moment and figure out
Yeah.
what feels best and how I want to do that.
Yeah. I could talk to you forever, Shanté. I'm just obsessed, and really we need to have a hang next time you're
This was
here,
great.
next time I'm there. We're going to take a brief break and then find out if people can find you, follow you, work with you.
Sounds good.
All right, Shanté, where do you hang out? And we said Instagram, but also like give them all the deets. Where can they stalk you in the good way?
Yeah, the deets, I try to keep everything consistent. Is just type in the Movement Maestro anywhere and it'll come up. And then you can do whatever you want with it. My website, movementmaestro.com, Instagram, the Movement Maestro. I'm on Threads as the Movement Maestro. And that's the easiest thing. If you want to chat, I'm in my DMs. I haven't been posting as much as I usually do, but I will answer a DM in 2 seconds. I don't like email. So you can go to my website and email me, but I probably won't get back to you. Someone from my team may get back. Maybe I'll have Rupert, my cat, get back. But Instagram's the easiest.
I will tell you how I got out of my inbox, and I am loving it. Now I have to actually, my assistant's like, you do have to go and respond to the 5 that I couldn't do.
I put
And I was like,
yes.
okay, all right, I'll get there. All right. You have truly given us so much, but it wouldn't need to be it till you see it podcast without the bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted steps people can take to be it till they see it. What do you have for us?
We're going to circle back because repetition is key. Once is never. And I'm going to say what I said before, just do it scared, right? The confidence, the happiness, the understanding, the clarity that you are looking for, the guidance, the direction, the answers that you're looking for are on the other side of doing the thing. So do it scared.
Yeah. Yeah. We firmly believe in that. We co-sign on that. And once you do it scared, make sure you let the Movement Maestro know. And let the Beit Pod know, because then we can celebrate you. Because guess what? Celebration is how habits are created. That's how the dopamine hits the brain. It's all science, people. All right, loves. Until next time, be it till you see it. That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day. Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the Epic team at Disenyo.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.